Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. I'm just going to be making some boss guides. They're not going to be your traditional boss guides. They're going to be mostly me just talking about the fight and kind of things that you would have to prepare for. So on the left here, you have my spreadsheet that I make for every encounter. And on the right, you have our VOD, but sometimes we'll have other guilds' VODs depending on the situation. Uh, and I can just play that when I talk. Um, so the first fight here, Vigilant Guardian, not that difficult of a fight. I'm not going to talk too much about Mythic in these videos because, it could change and it's just kind of speculation. But, the one thing that is going to happen in Mythic is the boss is actually going to roll out instantly, and the ads in the boss, you'll have to deal with them at the same time. However, in Heroic, in Normal, you have an ad phase, and then you have a boss phase. So here you have your ad phase, and as you see, it's just like a Mythic Plus spamming encounter. And when that plays on the right, I'm going to talk about the left. So there's going to be a few things going on. Um, so there's going to be three shield ads. I actually don't remember their name exactly, but they're basically these guys. And they're going to go online once they hit 16 out of 16 energy. At least that's how it was working in testing, actually. Actually, it might not be. Actually, yes, it is these guys. There was three on the last testing, which is why I'm getting a little confused. So this testing was for like a month ago, and you see me here. I'm checking their energy, or I tried to check their energy, at least in this VOD. So in the last iteration of testing in Mythic, the closer you killed the ads to the shield ones, those would charge. So, and then we did it in normal, and normal just kind of seemed like it charged anything. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, but as you see here, the ads are spawning, and they go like this, and you stand in them. Which in our comms you probably hear like, hey, let's get in the shield soon. One thing to note is when you're in the shield, you do 90% reduced damage, you take 90% reduced damage, and anything in the shield takes 90% reduced damage. So in Mythic, it's really hard to get tank aggro, and a mistake we made was not 3 tank. However, you want to ring out, you want to try to CC the ads outside the shield and do damage to them. Now in this difficulty, it didn't really do anything, and you see us like kind of like thinking about going to the shield, but again, this testing was from December and it's February. So see here we're going in the shield, but I don't actually think it does that much damage outside the shield. So once these guys release their force field, they're gonna drop a core, and that core you can use on the boss. Now in Mythic, the boss will be running around. In Heroic, the boss would be in the wall here. So I don't know if I do it, but you basically grab this core. Okay, this guy got it. So you see this monk. He's gonna go and he's gonna dunk it over here. And I think once you dunk it 3 times, it comes out of the wall. And actually, I'm gonna go grab this one. So you see here, I got the orb, and you get this extra action button, and you can use movement speed. You see me soul shape and things like that here. And I'm just gonna go dunk it. Yep. And that's repeat. So the other thing to note is that you see this bar up here. This bar is counting to when you need to get in the force fields. So there might be some timing requirements in Mythic, but unsure. So anyway, the boss comes out here once you dunk. Every dunk, I believe, does 20% of his health. So once he's at 40, he'll come out of the wall. And you want to save CDs and Lust for 15%. Because at 15%, he's going to enrage, and he's going to try to kill the raid. So I'm going to pause this a second and go kind of through some notes here. So there's ads, and there's going to be a tank ad that does a frontal. There's going to be drones who target players and will jump to players. And you don't want to be standing in the middle of nowhere because they're going to be a pain to CC. So you want to keep those CC'd in melee. There's also, sorry, point defense drones talked about it. Sentries talked about it, and I think these are the little boys. They'll like run in and you AoE them down, and the longer they're up, the stronger they get. Um, Also in the first phase, which I don't think happened in heroic testing, you'll get red lines. A player will get targeted by a line. You run out of the raid, it'll shoot a giant beam across the room, and that's everything in the first phase. So in the second phase here, um, this rollout phase, there's going to be a few tank mechanics. So there's going to be the beams that come across the room that target random players. That existed in the first phase. Oh yes, there's going to be a player who's targeted, and it's going to be like high botanist style, where like you have to like get out of this collapsing area. I don't think, maybe I died doing it on heroic difficulty. I don't remember, but that's a thing. And then there's two tank mechanics. I think one of the tank mechanics just makes the tank take more damage, and the second tank mechanic, I believe in the current iteration of testing, they had to run out with the mechanic and drop it because it would it could kill the raid. It's kind of similar to what I talked about, but it will shoot a bunch of uh, like balls around it or something. So the tank would run out of that. And just going back to the video. Oh, yes, I did die to it. Good. Or I died to someone else's, so let's see. So I believe... So I'm unsure if that targeted anyone, but as you see, I did stand in that frontal, and these balls go to each other, which was that mechanic that I showed earlier. I thought it targeted a player. I could be wrong, but that's what you have to avoid. But anyway, when this comes to 15%, you'll lust and you'll kill a boss, and it's kind of just a waste of time watching the burn. So you lust, you burn, and then he does start doing ramping damage. And as you see, there's still like the balls and stuff that are coming out here. See how the tank jumped out? So the tank gets a mechanic, he jumps out, and he'll throw the balls, and you have to get out of these, and they'll go to the boss. The damage can get a little intense, but easy kill. And that's basically the fight on heroic. Just to talk about Mythic a tiny bit, besides the boss being active, there's going to be little orbs on the ground, and any mechanic that anything damage related that the boss does will trigger the orbs, and you running over them will trigger the orbs. So he drops a lot of them, and you kind of have to determine when you're going to blow them up and when you're not going to blow them up. That's the other mechanic in Mythic. I might be missing one more, but that one and then the rollout at the beginning was the two big ones. Other than that, that's all I got for the first boss. So, thank you and have a good one.